Before we get started in today's video, if you guys like the content, make sure you guys please subscribe. Let's get it. If you are looking for a how-to video on the starter from 05 to 09 Chevy Malibu, I'm going to go ahead and put the timestamp right above of when we start the installation. Towards the end of this video, it kind of got destroyed because these kids that they kept passing by. I think they seen I was recording, they seen my tripod out and all that, so they just kind of wanted to destroy my video. They were shouting some stuff they shouldn't even be talking about, and I don't know, they're just trying to get under my skin until finally I had to tell them something. If I didn't, this video would have been a complete bust. It is towards the end of the video. I'll put a timestamp to the confrontation, and that way you guys can see what went down. I'll post a whole snippet of pretty much me telling these kids off on my Instagram. That way you guys see. It's one of the things that you encounter when you're not working in a shop setting and you're just working neighborhood to neighborhood. You don't know what neighbors are around or what kind of homes are around you. Even good areas have those certain houses or those certain people around that will kind of look for trouble. So it is what it is. I had to put them in their place. Show them. Not everyone's gonna fold to them. It is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Alright, so first thing we're gonna want to do is we're gonna go ahead and jack up the car. I got my two jack stands. I got one right here, one right here, and if you look right below, see if I can get a good view on it. Gonna be kind of tough, kind of throw you guys in there at an angle, but we have this frame right here that we'll go ahead and put our jack right in the middle in order to jack this up. I'll cut the camera back on so you guys can see what I'm talking about and where we're gonna place our jack stands. Alright, so first thing for the starter is going to be these 15s. These are 15 millimeter bolts. We're going to zap these off. I'm going to use an impact, but you could use a ratchet extension for that. Right after that, there's these 10s. It's just a little dust cover. There's a 10 right here. There should be one up top and one down at the bottom. After we take this off, we should be able to access two other 15s. But I'll go ahead and zap this off, take off this shield with the 10s on it, and then we'll cut the camera back on. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to knock out these 15s. I got one right here, one right here. It's pretty oily down here, so it's going to be kind of a mess. Usually these actually go out because the valve cover gaskets leak oil, and if you don't get that fixed, it lands right on top of this starter, and then this, it's a common problem with these cars. So we're going to go ahead and knock out this 15, that 15, and then we'll go ahead and be able to angle this starter in order for us to access the mounting points that lead to the battery and ground. I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll cut the camera back on. Alright, so now that we got the starter hanging there, it's kind of down at an angle where we could access the wires that lead to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the new starter and I'll figure out what size bolts these are right here, or these two are right here actually, sorry about that, in order to take it off. That way I don't have to poke around in there and bring tools back and forth. We'll go ahead and see what they are right here. Just a good tip. Alright, so the sizes for this big bolt right here, that's going to be a 13. I went ahead and got a ratchet and I just got a socket. So that's what I'll use. You can use a wrench. If you have a gear wrench, that actually would be ideal. And what I do got right here for the small guy right here, the small wire that leads to a solenoid, it's going to be a 5/16. I don't know if you guys can see that, but a 5/16. So I'm going to go ahead, and the way it's laid in the car is we can get to the small one first. So I'm going to take that one off, move the line, then I'll get to this 13. There's not a lot of space, so I'm just going to go ahead and take care of that. After you get your wires ran to the starter, you're going to want to go ahead and check that the two wires that you installed, the small one and the big one, they're not touching. You got to make sure they're not touching, because if they are touching, it's going to activate the starter as soon as you plug the battery in. So it's kind of like a switch, you know, so you don't want them touching, because that's like manually activating the switch. So I'm going to go ahead and check, make sure these are not touching, and everything's buttoned up and tightened up pretty good. Alright, it looks good. So this starter actually goes in just how I have it. So what we're going to do is it's going to actually go in kind of up at an angle. You're going to want to watch your wires, make sure they're not hitting the exhaust manifold, and make sure everything's all nice and tidy before you tighten everything up. Alright, so everything looks like it's going to go up pretty nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run the longer one. The longer one goes more towards the oil pan. And there's no way you could screw this up. There's one short bolt and then a longer bolt. One won't take either's place, so you could only put them in one way. To kind of help guide them in, what you can do is you could take your extension and your socket, your 15 mil socket, you put your bolt in the socket, you run it through the hole from the starter, and you can fish it right in there. So that's how I'm going to run it. And it's a tight fit. This is a tight fit, so you're gonna want to make sure you get one threaded in at least. I get the top. So now that we got those two 15s in, we're going to go ahead and put back our shield. This one was cracked, but usually there'd be a 10 right at the bottom and then one up top. Alright, now that we got that snugged up, we can go ahead and put this other bracket that we had on. This was held on by 3 other 15s. They're all the same size, so you can't really, there's no mixing these ones up either. You're going to want to do, on this bracket, you're going to want to do the one, single one first, and then these two. So we'll go ahead and mount that in place, and we'll throw these in. Talking to? Talk to me? Who you talking to? You guys talking to me or what's up? Alright. What's up? You want the smoke? What? No, it's all good. I don't know, they're talking shit. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, still got a video out there for you guys. You know, I'm kind of learning. It's kind of harder to film than I thought it would be. I thought it would be easy to bust out these videos, but between editing, losing footage, redoing footage, and then the obstacles around, you know, like what these kids did today, you know, filming's kind of hard, but, you know, I'm going to keep going at it. I kind of like doing it. You know, I don't mind kids screaming in the background, crying in the background, or playing, or anything like that. I don't care about any of that. I'll leave that in the video because, you know, that's as real as it gets. But that's kind of the reason why I left this in the video as well, because this is as real as it gets. You know, this is stuff that you encounter, you know, especially as a mobile mechanic. This isn't the first rodeo on, you know, this type of stuff happening. I remember the last time that something like this kind of happened that matches up to this was I was fixing on one of those Triton engines on the Fords. The spark plugs blow out, so I was in the middle of rethreading one of the spark plug holes. And I was kind of, I was in Glendale area, you know, out here in Salt Lake. And some guy, you know, he looked like he had a couple to drink or whatever. And he came through and, you know, I think he just seen a guy with the hood open. So he just wanted to start a conversation. But then it became very clear that he wasn't just trying to start a conversation. He was trying to get some money and not even ask. You know, he was trying to take what I got. So, you know, that was a crazy encounter, but, you know, there's a reason why I prop hoods up with a baseball bat. You know, it serves two purposes. Hold that hood up and do whatever you got to do to get home at the end of the day. You know, it's crazy. It is how it is out here, you know, but, you know, just how it is. You know, I'm going to show you guys how it is. I'm not going to cut too much of anything out. You know, whatever goes down, goes down. But yeah, if you guys like today's content and you guys want to keep up with our other builds, mobile mechanic work, custom work, you name it, you know, you feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.